Good evening. If Galaxy's Edge is wrong, I don't want to be right. My name is Walt, and this is the Galaxy's Edge podcast. We're talking everything in and around the edge, and joining me, as is always the case, my co-host, Dark Ops 117, Mr. Swordfish.
Howdy.
You went full rubber man there for a second. I don't know what was going
wacky
on.
waving inflatable arm man.
Right? Author of The Reservist, we have J.R. Hanley. Who is
Good evening.
There it is. There it is. Dark Ops 425, a rookie.
Oi, oi.
Right. Speaking of oi, Ingram Matt.
Got on, people.
We have Dark Ops 93, Bubba.
I'm enjoying the dried flesh of animals right now.
We'll leave the savage stuff to you. We have CPA 0001, Omachi.
I'm locked out of the office, but not out of your heart.
I'm sorry, Omachi's having technical difficulties. And then we have our featured insider, or I assume is our featured insider, Steven, aka Killswitch.
Hey, welcome, or thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Thank you for welcoming me to my own podcast.
You're welcome. Awesome. Thank you. Walt.
Thank you for thanking me for.
I'm used to doing my own podcast, and so that's why I said that.
So wait a minute. Hold on. What is your normal podcast?
It's called the Unruly Truth Podcast. I just talk about whatever I feel like I need to talk about in the moment.
We're gonna need links for this later. All right. So before we get into that, we're gonna go with Swordfish. What's going on in Discord?
We got the RPG channel getting pretty active right now. Nanban was getting people together for some potential Twilight 2000 play. We actually have people right now in the gaming channels. They're playing Deep Rock Galactic.
Rocket Stone.
Yeah. So they're doing that. The much trepidatious House of Reason channel has been persisting, and things are going for the most part okay. We haven't had any issues, no issues of having to airlock people, so that's good. And it's kind of neat. We've been having some pretty interesting discussions go on there about the deep philosophical beings of Galaxy's Edge and other media, and I think that's mostly been it. The workout bay has actually been pretty quiet because I think they're in their slumber. They're getting ready. They've packed on the calories. Now they're just kind of going into the cave and just calories.
I was thinking it was all the
back
Halloween
off, savage. But yeah,
I was gonna say it's kind of like the Thanksgiving season's coming up too. That's when people start to get all their favorite foods in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Discord's been doing pretty good. A lot of good people that have been hanging out and just helping each other out when they need it.
Right on. What's been like the one highlight of Discord this week? Like, has it been like something that stood out to you that was like, oh damn, this GE Discord is just damn, this is the best community ever?
There was one person that straight up said, I want to thank you all for being here. There have been multiple times, due to PTSD, that he was looking to find a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Oh.
But just having the knowledge that there are people here that would listen if I spoke up has helped me from doing so. Helped keep me from doing so. For that, I say thanks. So seeing something like that is truly one of those, sobering things to realize that just us being there is a good difference for a lot of people that just kind of like need somebody to like say, hey, I'm feeling like shit. Can we like go play a game or something? Or let's talk about the books and whether Goth Solus was actually a good guy or a bad guy, and whether
did nothing wrong.
Whether AI is permissible like Solomon, because Solomon is a good boy and Ingramat is just a hater.
that.
But,
I found that in my pocket the other day.
Nice.
But you missed
But,
the most important one. I was set up for failure in the Order of the Centurion chat. I was challenged to a food porn off in the next book I write against Nick Cole, and I just don't think I can write food the way
no.
he can.
That
I don't think anyone
it's
writes
impossible.
food.
That's a losing battle.
Yeah, that's like bringing a T-ball team against the major leagues. That's just not fair.
JR, get a hold of me later. I'll help you.
Oh yeah.
I actually,
Bubba's actually really good about
Yes.
coming up with some stuff.
If there's one non-GE book I would be most hyped for, it's a cookbook.
So I told Jason that, and he said that that he thinks that Nick is just a frustrated food blogger who happens to write novels.
There was one other thing. I know I said this on last week's podcast because it's the insider one, but we did break 1,000 members in the Discord. We are currently at 1,052, and that
Would have been
is
funnier
not
if you
counting
had said
bots.
4.
What was that?
Would have been funnier if you had said 4.
Oh yeah. But yeah. It's,
We broke
it's
1,000.
pretty cool.
No, we only have 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, it's only like what 50 active people, honestly.
Oh, crap.
Everybody
I gotta-
else like 950 lurkers or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
I
some
got to
pretty
tell
good
you,
emojis there.
there are some days when I drift into the Discord to like deal with like one dude or another, and it's like I kind of feel like I'm in the wrong neighborhood. Am I gonna get jumped?
Probably.
Then somebody hits me up with like, hey, we haven't seen you here in a while. Come on in. It's fine. Don't worry about what he's doing. That's totally not going to end up somewhere uncomfortable.
Speaking of somewhere uncomfortable, somebody shared their picture of their Blood Eagle knife that they got with the Galaxy's Edge branding.
I know.
In the pointy and
that'd be
stabby
new.
section.
Yeah, that was in the
Blasters and bangers, I think.
no, it was actually in the main lobby. 1 second, and
Yeah, if you can push that forward, we'll pop that up. Yeah, the Galaxy's Edge knives flew off the shelves. I mean, they just
let me
gone.
just
Wait, they're already gone?
share.
Yeah.
Damn, I hesitated.
All I know is
Wow.
we put it on the Facebook page to advertise it, and Zuckerberg sent me a nice letter about why we were unruly heathens, and he wasn't going to let us advertise it.
What?
Yeah, I got a kickback on one of the Galaxy's Edge page posts for that. But by then, they had already sold, so it was like, joke's on him. They were all gone.
Yeah, can
so
you?
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, can you?
Oh, he sent
Really?
like the tiniest picture. Yeah, that's even zoomed in. That is full size. Okay. I mean,
I got
sometimes,
you, Tan.
yeah. No, that even when zoomed in, that's as big as it is. But
I think our boy Dan has a group problem. Look at all those groups he's in. Man, you spend too much
Yeah.
time on Discord.
Wow, those are really well
Well,
organized. It looks like.
That's exactly how mine looks too. I'm part of like nearly 130 Discords, and mine looks about the same. It's just folders upon folders everywhere. It's just so much better, man.
How often do you get to like jump in there?
Oh, every day.
oh, jump in these discords, like hardly ever.
Well, no,
I
I mean, like,
I know.
that's what I'm saying. Like, how often do you get to those 130 Discords?
Not at all.
Pretty much
I,
every 1 or 2 days. I just have one very quick look inside. I'm like, nah, mark all is red. Nah, good night.
yeah. Honestly,
He's in it
there's
for the
like
emojis.
only a couple. There's only a couple discords where I keep an eye on. There's a reloading Discord that I got a couple of people in our server into, where they post notifications like, hey, if you want some straight up gold right here, we got some federal small pistol primers. Go buy them at this website. And let me tell you, it's saved my butt a couple times, because it's like I'm out of primers. I kind of want to do something, but there's nothing. So, but yeah,
Billy Mays
There's
here
a-
with Federal Ammo Primers.
10 out of 10.
Oh, God,
Proven
that's
to
glorious.
make the bullet go bang thing out of Happy Tube.
You want to know what never runs out of ammo? That knife.
Oh my God,
True.
that thing is a beast.
It is.
That thing is a beast. And the guy who posted this was TJ Keen on the Insiders, and he said, "Now this is a knife. My N9 got delivered this morning, and I'm thoroughly impressed. And if you read that quote in anything but an Australian accent, you're wrong."
That's not a knife.
Thankfully, we have a real life Australian to read it for us.
Well, you know, because the times that we've had those fake Australians, it just didn't work out for us.
It just hasn't.
Cracky.
But yeah, the knives.
Speaking of Australian,
but the initial. What's that?
I was saying, speaking of Australian, I'm still waiting on the Kublar and Tomahawk, so I'll take out a home equity loan for that.
But the first round of knives, there were 15, and those blew out, and now Andrew's working on the next 15. So the ones that already have gone out were the Legion survival knives. So and the next batch that go out will be the Legion combat knives, and the difference is that the combat knives will not have a gut hook. Right, this is the Savage variant, so you can't have it because there's only one.
There's another
I've
one being
heard.
made.
I've heard.
Oh, there is.
I'm waiting for that Savage variant if there is another one in the process.
But yeah, so well, it goes along with I have a good hunting sword right above the desk, so that's what it goes along with. Same blade design. But anyway, those should be dropping relatively soon-ish. I know Andrew's working on them now. I talked to him the other day, and he's trying to crack them out as fast as possible. He doesn't want to do them as one-offs. He wants to get them out as a batch to us, so that we can get them out and sell them all at once to you guys.
So, given that you've got one and you are a resident stabby expert of knives and holiness, how do you rate these quality?
What I've done so far to mine is usually when I get a knife from a smith that I've never worked with before I go and start like really abusing it, first thing I do is a quality test. So I'll take the blade and I'll wedge it into something, and then I'll stand on it. So I'm 185 pounds of midget fury, and so 185 pounds on the edge of a knife, especially a full tang knife, you should have especially one with this kind of blade profile. So at the very bottom of the knife, it's about a third of an inch of steel. So and then the tang right here is full all the way through the handle. So you're looking at a pretty beefy piece of steel, and it didn't flex, it didn't bend. So that was good.
Nice.
I then take the tip and put the tip into something hard, like a big thick piece of wood. Okay. Yeah, just the tip. And then I flex and pull down to make sure that the tip isn't going to snap off, because if I'm doing any sort of pry work. Now, this isn't a knife you would probably use as a craft knife or a field knife. This is more for ruining somebody's day, or you could probably use it for hunting as well. So one of the things that you would want to test for is that the tip is strong and sturdy and was tempered well. If you don't do that and you go to use it for something like deboning or pulling off the rib cage on like a kill, like say deer or something like that.
Coob.
Well, coob bones are kind of soft, but
and small.
Yes. So, but you don't want that tip to break off and have the knife fling back at your face. So you want to test the tip before you do stuff like that.
Always test the tip.
Yep. But to give you like an example, this is let's see, I got some scrap paper right here. So, like I said, this is not a thin, small knife. This is a very, very large blade, right? And it shaves. So it as it cuts, it shaves. And like I said, this is a very thick knife. To do this with a thick knife like this is usually very rare. It means whoever's grinding it down knows what they're doing and knows their edge geometry, stuff like that. So,
how long does it retain the edge?
I haven't sharpened it yet, and I beat the crap out of it. So if you look at mine, so it's got a coating on it to keep it from rusting, right? If you look at mine, you can see some of the breeze marks of some of the cutting I've been doing and stabbing, right? And those breeze marks, I haven't sharpened it yet. So, but both sides and this edge geometry, this inverse edge geometry, where unlike the blades that are up on my wall, where the edge is on the belly or the top part, the edge curves the wrong way, right? Which is more claw-like. These are hard to sharpen. So to have this sharp right out of the mail, rock on.
So we had
I don't know, Bubba. I'm gonna have to fight you for that knife. He's kind of sold me on it.
We had a comment thread in the chat that started from Mitch GZ. Said, "Hear me out. GE cookbook, and it's just ration packs and burgers."
Probably. Yeah. All right.
Ways to make MRE meals better, kind of thing.
No, don't do it. Omachi, you're up, man.
All right, Steven. So, who are you, and what is on your wanted poster?
So what's on my wanted poster is high crimes and treason against the Republic. That's probably what would be on my wanted poster.
So you're
go ahead.
part Blackfleet.
I'm what?
Blackfleet.
I mean, probably more MCR than anything else. I would consider.
Hold on a second. If we look at the Discord, this guy's in Vanguard. I don't know.
I am in Vanguard. Yes, in the Discord.
Vanguard's been infiltrated.
Hey,
when was it not?
It wouldn't be the first time. Come on. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not. It wouldn't be the first time.
Sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're good. Yeah. So I'm Marine Corps combat veteran, and I just do a podcast. I play drums. That's kind of me in a nutshell. I am dabbling in some writing. I'm just getting started into it, and so.
Who were you with in the Marines?
I was with 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines, for 4 years, and then I was with the 1st Marine Regiment for a year before I got out.
What'd you do?
I was an intelligence analyst.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So secret squirrel.
We worked with a couple of you guys in Ramadi. That was quite interesting.
Yeah, we're not always a great group to work with, but we're fine. We're fun.
But I bet you were fun at parties.
Not me. No, my cohorts. Yes, they were a great time at parties. I was not the fun one.
Oh man! So how did you get into GE?
I honestly was it was like right after I finished my master's program. I was just looking for something to get into, just book wise, and I saw the cover of Legionnaire on Amazon, and I was like, all right, let me try this out. Bought it, and I read the first 9 books in like a month and a half, 2 months or something like that. I was hooked immediately. It was awesome.
Oh wow! So what was it about the cover that drew you to the series?
Just the Legionnaire in his armor and the bucket and everything that deploying twice to the desert. It's like, oh, that looks like something that, could have happened in the future if I was there. And so
the trigger discipline too.
Yeah, the trigger discipline was great. I mean, it's always
that's what did it for me.
So you've said you've read the 9 books of the main series. Have you read all the spinoffs?
I've got currently 2 books that I have not read, The Reservist and The Takeover. So I think book 10, right? But I've read everything else that's been put out, and I've only I've listened to 3 audiobooks, but I've read everything else.
Okay, and what's your favorite book out of the main series?
I think the first book is probably the one that's going to do it for me. I mean, I just reread it again recently over the summer and was just like, man, this book is so good.
Do you have a favorite side book?
Yeah, I really like the Dark Operator series that Doc Spears did. He did a good job. I like Angles of Attack. I think is probably my favorite one.
Is there a special moment that stood out to you in that?
In Angles of Attack?
Yes.
Man, it's been a while since I've read it.
They were angels.
I think just the first battle that they have where they're infiltrating that where they're helping out with the army and they're infiltrating and they're just fighting against those mechs, and one of the Dark Ops guys jumps in a mech and starts using it against against the bad guys that have it. I think that was probably the coolest part in that book.
Awesome. And so do you have a favorite character?
Yeah, this is really hard because they're all good. I mean, Nick and Jason have done a great job writing really good characters. I mean, I think probably someone like Masters or Bear is probably my favorite character. I'll go with
All
Bear.
right, and why?
Bear's my
Why do
answer.
they hold a special place in your heart?
Well, Bear is just a beast, right? And so I like to work out. I spend a lot of time in the Obsidian Crow workout bay, in the Discord, and so and I've been helping out with the big lift and big diet competition, which we're actually getting ready to launch for the winter. We're gonna have like a January to Valentine's Day kind of a 6-week deal coming up here pretty soon. We just talked about that today with Roadblock and some of the other guys that are helping out with it. And so I like to lift. I'm a big guy, and Bear just resonates with me in that way.
Oh, cool. So since that's coming up, would you like to give us a sneak preview or talk about that now?
Yeah, so it won't be as complicated as the summer competition was. Obviously, there was a lot that was going on there. We're going to have like 4 main categories: cardio, weightlifting, I think weight loss, and just like I forget what the other one was, but it's just going to be simplified. So a few different exercises, kind of just like running type stuff, just to get people to get together and just do something during the winter. We all like to tend to, as you guys were talking about earlier, hibernate after we have large meals for Thanksgiving and Christmas and just kind of bunker down. And we want people to not do that, right? We want to make sure that we're out there and staying active and staying fit. And so that's the purpose for this. And then, with Masters and his mentality, Valentine's Day, 6 weeks is gonna be right at the end of that. So more hip thrusts for all that.
Could someone like me, who's not who doesn't traditionally like work out as much as I should, could I be competitive in that if I really tried?
Yeah, honestly, there's only like 6 people that did it over the summer, so I would imagine that if you at least just went out there and put in a start time and a finish time or whatever you decided to do, just put it in. I mean, chances are you'll probably be successful in competing in that.
All right. Well, there's my motivation.
Nice.
Excellent. Hopefully you'll see me there. Do you have so besides Bear, do you have a secondary character that you like?
Yeah, I like Kel Turner from the Dark Ops series. He's probably my second favorite character in the whole thing.
Is there a standout moment for you where you knew this is my favorite character?
Not one particular moment. He's a hopeless romantic, and I'm also a hopeless romantic, and so I feel like in that way we're the same, but in other ways we're not the same.
So what trouble do you get when you're not reading?
So like I said earlier, I do a podcast, or I've been doing a podcast on and off for the last 2 years. My busy schedule has kind of taken me away from it since I think July was the last time I did, or August was the last time I did one. And I play drums probably 4 or 5 times a month at different places, and so I'm doing that typically. I spend a lot of time with my wife on the weekends. She's a cop, so like 4 days a week I don't get to see her. But that's pretty much what I do.
What's the name of your podcast?
It's the Unruly Truth podcast. I sent you guys a link to it in the chat.
Have you ever played drums on there?
I have not. I've thought about it. It's just I'm not good with like audio tech stuff. I just use I record on Audacity and just cut the front and cut the back and then post it. I don't even edit it. So I'm just really bad with tech stuff. So I don't know how I would even go about trying to get that on there.
And I'm confident if you reached out, somebody would volunteer to help you out with that if you put some.
Oh, I am 100% sure that someone would do that. I just have not reached out to anybody to ask them.
Gotcha. So what is it you would like to see in Galaxy's Edge? Or in the next book you read?
In the next book I read?
Yeah.
Or the next book that comes out?
Yes.
Like the Convergence book that's coming out?
Yeah, what is it you would want more of?
Oh, what would I want more of? So in the first season I really liked following Kill Team Victory around. And so when it kind of pulled back to just following Keel and then even Rex when he was doing his thing, that was okay, not really why I got into it, because I like the whole Kill Team kind of aspect of it. So I'd like to see more of that and more of Kill Team Victory as it progresses. I'm hoping Masters is going to be okay. So
And so I can assume your team masters then, right?
yeah, in fact, I just got a new shirt today. I won this over the summer during the fitness competition. It says "Lucky Like Masters" at the bottom.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Do93 Ghosty just got this out today. It's a new shirt that he's going to be having available on his store or shop to get ready to buy. So I'm the first one to have one. I'm excited about that.
Oh, you're 0001.
Yeah.
All right, and
That's it. That's all you got.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. Always
Get out.
Yeah. It's always cool to have a hullbuster on, especially one who's seen some sand, mud, and blood. So
Yep.
yeah, when we do like a big hullbuster episode, you want to come down and start talking, right?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, you talk about amphibious operations.
I wrote my senior paper on when I was getting my bachelor's degree.
Really?
So, yeah.
No kidding.
oh, what are you going to school for?
Well, I got it. I got my bachelor's in history, and for my senior thesis, I wrote about the history of the amphibious warfare doctrine. I actually had to go to the National Archives in D.C. to get research materials because that's the only place I can get it from.
That's dope.
Yeah, and then I got my master's in intelligence studies, which basically means I'm good at research.
Has that translated into the civilian side, or are you
Not yet.
still wearing a uniform?
No. I'm still working on making it work in the civilian side. I'm a government contractor right now. Just
right on.
I just write reports all day. It's really boring.
That's better than what I did as a government contractor. I took pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, so you study history. What's your favorite period of history?
Legion history.
Yeah, Legion history is the best. I prefer. I'm like World War I, World War II era type. I also like ancient history. I never really had a specialization. I just kind of bounced all over the place and got the credits I needed to get a degree. So,
right on. Right, so I'm going to swing my blunt force segue, which looks a lot like a cookery knife, just in case anybody decides to get lippy. So we're going to talk about.
That's not a hammer.
It is if I hit you with the flat and this big, pommel in the back. But we're going to talk about Mission 22 a little bit because November, Mission 22 does their big drive to try and raise awareness for everything, as well as raise some money to help some vets out. Because that's really what it's all about. And the thing that we really wanted to go into about Mission 22 is that there's a lot of vets out there. There's a lot of vets in our community. There's a lot of people who, like I said before, saw some sand, mud, and blood on the other side of the world in order to answer the call when it went out. And when they came back, some people adjusted well and some people didn't. And the thing that we have to understand as a community, Galaxy's Edge community, people in the regular community, so forth and so on, is that sometimes a little understanding can go a long way, especially if somebody's having a hard time. If you know somebody who's been out there and has put time in a uniform and might be having an issue, right? Reach out to them. Say, hey, look, this is, this doesn't have to be something you have to run through alone. If we look at the end of the first book that Stephen was talking about, right? Legionnaire, right? At the end, he goes to that bar and talks to that old liege, and things could have been a lot different for that guy, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that these lieges have someplace to go to, somebody to talk to, someplace to unburden. Because, like I said before, it's not always about, coming back and being like, "Rah, man, did you see that? Did you see that explosion? You see how many rounds I put down range? Rah!" I mean, sometimes you come back and, excuse me, the world that you left isn't the world you came back to. So, adjusting to that might be a thing, and that's what this particular organization is trying to deal with. Does anybody else want to talk about some of their experiences, either coming back or Mission 22? Crickets. I'm sensing
I'm I'm looking forward to the upcoming. I think Matt has a upcoming event where he's going to raise money for that.
Yeah, indeed. But I'll wait till we get to that part. But yeah, that's the part I'm going to be talking about. But if anyone else has got any experiences, not just Mission 22, coming back from deployments or whatever, let us know.
Yeah, exactly.
I know last year we did a special thing where Jason put the call out, and every week we did a remembrance story of a veteran or a friend that was lost, or a friend or another veteran that was lost during the when they came back. And I think a lot of good remembrances were shared. I know JR shared one, Adolfo shared one, and Aaron Lindsay shared one. But you know, we don't forget about these people, and a lot of these people had a significant impact on our lives, and you know, in some cases they did save our lives. I know in JR's case he could probably say the same about some of the men that he served with. So it's really unfortunate that we weren't there to help them get through the issue they were experiencing. So this is kind of our way of remedying that and trying to save as many people as we can in relation to, you know, coming home. And that's why I personally love the Discord, because we have a strong support of veterans and just people in general who are going through whatever, you know, crap that is really on their minds. And I feel like we've done a great job in that.
So in addition to what he's talking about, which is the squad support, where just anybody can go there and vent or whatever.
That's on the Discord.
It's in the Discord. There's actually a channel just for veterans that you have to prove with a DD-214 or some form of ID, because obviously that's an American thing, but other countries have equivalents. So you actually sort of like, I don't want to say a blue check mark, but you have to validate that you were actually in the service. You don't just say I was in JROTC once in high school. As far as getting in, the mods sort of handle that. And so it's sometimes, and that's one where I think some of the Discord mod functions are sort of turned off so we can be as salty as we want to. I've only had Daniel mute me once. So it's definitely helpful. It's
a good channel, and it being hidden away and pretty much mod free was our intended effect for that, because, you know, anyone who goes in there will still have our general work gripes, our deployment stories, you know, all the shittery about LTs and stuff, you know, all that sort of gear. But it's, you know, it's true though. You've got to. I set up the rule initially for that you've got to provide a DD-214 or for the Australian AC-853 equivalent. I've been shown how to look at DD-214s, but if I don't respond, ask JR. If JR doesn't respond, then shit, you're in luck.
We do have veteran authorities. That would be Badger. I have limited understanding of stuff, so I can authorize people because Walt did run me through stuff. We don't just take a full, you know, form. We want redacted stuff. We do not want, you know, your social security number or stuff like that. Please do not give us that stuff.
No, JR does want your social and your bank routing number. JR wants that. Bank routing, social.
Don't give that out.
Mother's maiden name.
Do it.
Yeah, and your birthday. So I will say that channel, and I'll just give an example, is if anybody followed the news, this is November 2021. A couple weeks ago, there were some shenanigans that happened as we left the place that shall not be named, and some of us felt some sort of way about it. And so when everything was being censored everywhere else, we were able to go there and just speak, and that had value. Some of the guys I deployed with turned right around and deployed to Afghanistan and didn't leave the Korengal Valley. So for me, it was very personal, and to have that sort of place to have those conversations was helpful. And knowing that there weren't any normies to get in the way, and I know that sounds kind of harsh, but I mean, you tell some of the shit you did over there to someone who hasn't been, they're going to look at you like you just screwed three heads. And then they back away slowly. I've had that happen to me when I got drunk and I said things I probably should have kept to myself. And so knowing knowing that you have that place where you can be as blunt and just call it like it was, that's got value.
Well, every time you start talking about setting off fireworks naked,
Look, all right, I only did it twice.
Yep.
The neighbor only had to call the cops. She didn't have to do that. She could have just said go home, but no. But yeah. So back to the Mission 22. That's actually one of the things that I did is, so when I signed my contract with Podium for my first series, they gave me a CD copy of R.C. Bray's rendition of The Martian. I never opened it because I owned it on Audible already. So it sat in a closet somewhere, and when I was cleaning, I found it. So I actually mailed that to Jason. And so he's going to get a list of everybody who donates to Mission 22 through the Galaxy's Edge, because obviously you can donate directly, and that's appreciated too. But he can track who comes through his website, and they're going to do a random drawing at the end of November, and somebody will get a R.C. Bray narrated, not that Josh Whedon crap, version of The Martian on CD, so they can never take it away from you. You will own a copy. You can burn a copy. It is still in the original shrink wrap. So that's something.
Yeah, I was going to say, in addition to, there is, Jason and Nick are very kind in donating a lot of stuff. So just make sure if you're going to buy merchandise, run over to places like the Galaxy's Edge website, and you can see stuff like this. The new Bleed the Wicked Dry patch from Sketch World. They linked up with him after they saw his, what's that?
Nanners. Ape like banana.
They linked up with him after he did his Legionnaire sketch. So they got this patch rolling. They also got they got the right there. We'll put that over there so I can see what I'm doing. Right. So they also got this cool new bucket sketch, bucket patch. So a lot of the stuff that you're going to be seeing over the next few, a portion of their proceeds are going to be going to Mission 22 to help out some vets that are coming back and having a hard time.
Walt says coming back and having a hard time. That's a term that sounds rather recent. They actually, Mission 22 will work with veterans of any era. So that's not just limited to Iraq and Afghanistan. I know at least in the U.S., I've heard some vets from previous engagements complain that they still needed the help and it was never there. And so I will say that one thing Mission 22 does is they don't discriminate by era. I mean, mostly they're helping the younger vets because that's who's coming back. But there's been a uptick in Vietnam vets who are retiring, and now they got all kinds of time on their hand to do nothing but think. And sometimes that thinking is problematic, and so that becomes an issue. And that help would be available to them too.
Another thing about Nick and Jason donating. So if I recall, I believe the percentage is 22% of all proceeds on the store are going towards Mission 22, and then the exception being the specific fundraiser ones. So I think both of those were both.
Those were the fundraiser ones, yep.
Yeah. So in those cases, 100% of proceeds for those posters went straight to Mission 22. And then the other thing that Jason's actually adding on to that is anybody that's boosting the server for the Discord server for this month, they're going to do a donation to Mission 22 for each boost. So currently we are at 33 boosts. So they're going to donate math. Omachi, do math. What's 5 times 33? I think that's like a number.
I got a calculator button.
12?
That's his whole bite.
Yeah.
So
but that is 165.
Yeah, they're going to donate that money towards Mission 22 in lieu of giving out a coupon code for this month.
And so we did. We talked about it last time, and Jason doesn't know I'm volunteering him, so yay. But one of the things we did last year was that if people had stories they wanted to share of veterans that they knew that self-deleted to keep their memory alive, they shared them on both the newsletter, the page. There was all kinds of places where that information was sort of shared, obviously with permissions. If obviously they still have whatever we sent them last year, but if you have other stories you're ready to share, you want to share, you weren't around last year, that's something we could make happen this year as well. I've said this before, so I deployed. There were 9 guys on my fire team. It was a rather large one because we did it by gun truck, not by personnel. And I am the last one left because the ones that didn't, die over there ended it over here, and so it's sort of very important to me. So I will also say that, and Walt would say the same thing. Like if you need to talk to someone, like frick, we got our numbers because I've been there.
Yeah. And
yeah, seriously. If
though,
oh, go ahead. Yep.
though I'm not a veteran, I'm always pretty much active in Discord, and anytime somebody's having an issue, it's okay. Shoot me a DM. I usually respond within a couple hours, and I'll sit there. I'll jump into a VC or whatever with you, and we'll just talk about stuff and let you get through whatever you need to get through, and then hopefully get you to somebody who can help even a little bit more than I can, because I'm just a crazy person on the internet.
I told you I needed to talk to you and told me to quit bitching.
Well, what you need to do is tell them that Godcelis did
you-
nothing wrong. You jump to the top of the pile.
Ironically, though.
Omachi,
Okay.
you were gonna say something?
Well, I was just thinking 165. That's kind of low. I can Well, let's figure something out, and I'll add on to that.
I think you were saying something about a knife. I think I can talk to Hillbilly and we can see about facilitating what you're asking. But go ahead and say what your plan is.
I saw 165 and I thought that's too low. So, but I also want to get the community involved. If there's a way, I'll buy one of those knives and we can raffle it off in order to raise money for it, for the Mission 22. If that's an option, we can do.
Definitely something
You're talking to Walt and me, and we both have Jason's ear. We're gonna make it happen.
Make it hurt.
Oh, I will say that this went out last week, I think, with the insiders, with the Bray version of the Martian that I sent him. He is going to see. Right now, it's still in his shrink wrap. He was going to see if he can get Bray to open it and sign it to whoever it goes to potentially. Now that's not guaranteed because he's got to ask other people. But I mean, like we're willing to try to make shit happen to get charity, to get this donations rolling.
Rookie, you had something that you were trying to say?
Oh yeah, regarding like squad support and actually having like a support group. I just wanted to add, it's okay to get like professional help too. As like if in the absence of that, I mean, we're not always going to be around online. I may encourage some professional help, but like because like if we're not available at the time, like I know you had said it a couple of years back that it's like people get this preconceived notion of like the padded walls and things like that. But it is okay to like if like the whole solution seemed to be kind of like starting to look a little bit too close to home, that it is okay to take a step on over to like maybe a local hospital. Talking to a crisis worker is actually not the most terrifying thing. It can be, like, especially when you're afraid of like doing things like losing freedoms. But like I can, if anyone had ever had any questions on that, I'd be more than happy to answer. For those that don't know, I'm actually an emergency medical technician, and like a good 60% of people that we transport is like are psychiatric cases, or psychiatric patients, people with like chronic disorders too, but majorly it's also people with like depression and like SI and just like overall like acute anxiety. But it's of course we don't want it to get to that point, so squad support is always there. And if you can get somebody's ear, I think Dan, isn't there a tag? Isn't there like a role tag for
There,
squad support?
everybody who is in that channel has a specific role, but the additional thing I wanted to add on to that is that in the pinned messages for that channel, there is actually a list of people who straight up are offering their services. Because I know one person, Guns, he said that he's a credentialed victims advocate with the NACP. If anyone needs help locating resources or would like assistance with anything, just know I am available. You can DM me. I'll provide my personal information to communicate confidentially. But yeah, he can help you get help.
There's also one of the people in there, and I don't remember name off the top of my head, but I'm bad with names, who's actually works for the VA through like the bureaucracy side. So if you need help like accessing those resources, there's help in there too who would be able to point you in the right direction.
Exactly. I know Drifter is actually one of those people that can somewhat point people in the right direction as well.
All right, and speaking of pointing in the right direction, yeah, okay, good. I'm not muted. I would have muted that.
I noticed.
So speaking of pointing people in the right direction, go to galaxiesedge.us, buy the merch so that we can donate and help some people out. And I'm going to spin this around to talk about conversions. So the insiders have already got it. How many of you guys have read it?
I've read like the first half prologue.
I have not.
I'm a quarter of the way through it.
I haven't touched
Oh
it.
my lord! It is.
Oh, I'm an airhole person.
Hey, Bubba, are you gonna actually catch the after the roundtable podcast for that?
I hate
What?
you
I thought
so
you said
much.
that was
I
already-
literally was trying to power through it so I was able to get into the round table. I had some I had some issues pop up that week, and I completely forgot to listen to it and completely forgot about the round table till something else happened, and I just sat there wanting to hurt myself.
Like, can you?
Because I was just like,
can you give me
"Son
some
of a-"
warning when the next one's gonna come out, so I can just like schedule time to just power through it, so it'll be at the next one.
So yeah, convergence is just 9 pounds of awesome in a 6 pound bag. When it hits, you gotta grab it. You gotta
Oh yeah,
definitely
what
grab
I've
it.
read, I'm hyped for it.
It's super
good.
super cool.
I've
Damn
been using one of those text to speech apps, and I mean, like personally, it kind of messes with me because I'm used to listening to Bray read it all, and then listening to computer voice. It's like, oh no, I feel like I'm missing something because every time I just start to wander because I'm not enthralled by the voice. It's more, and he walked down the corridor instead of like he walked down the corridor.
Well, I tell you what, for $19.95 an hour, I will read that to you, and I do a killer Tyrus Rex. So, yeah.
Do you also speak for Baldur?
Only in his speaking parts.
Well, I know you had a great joke right there, but my internet tried to kill itself for a moment, so I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Oh wait, I see on our topics. Wait, is there Forgotten Ruins 3? That's coming out soon, is it?
For the audio?
Yeah,
Yeah, they were going to be doing 3 and 4 at the same time.
I need it.
Yeah,
I need more.
yeah, because oh my god, did you guys see the poster that Nick put
When?
up?
I need it like Tucker
No,
needs coffee.
when?
Right. So the other day in FaceBase, Nick dropped a picture of the Forgotten Ruin poster, and he did, and it went up for sale like immediately after. Oh my god, that thing is glorious. You guys haven't seen that?
I have not seen it, and as a fan
I
of
saw
Forgotten Ruins, I would really like to see this picture.
Hold on one
I saw the
second.
picture of him signing it. I think he had the coffee.
Wait,
off
there are
in the
signed
top right-hand
copies?
corner or something.
Yes, they're all
Yeah.
signed.
Go on.
Are you going to be okay, Omachi? Are you
No.
gonna have like a stroke on
Here we go.
on podcast?
Oh yeah.
Right,
I
right there.
think you want to watch me make an impulse buy on podcast.
Look at that right there. $50.
No, I need a. Where,
Frame
can you drop me a link to
I
purchase?
can relate.
I need a-
Does the frame come with it?
The frame does not come with it. No.
I
Oh.
wish the frame came with that. That's a really nice frame.
Right. So
It's probably something from the Dollar Tree.
Don't hate. But yeah, there it is right there. If you can see right here, they got the signature block where you're going to have your signed copy signed. And then, so it's a really, really, really nice, nice, what do you call it? Rendition of the map. So
You struggled through that one, didn't you?
oh my God. Yeah, because I got stuff happening off to the side. So,
Words are complications.
Right. It's almost like I've never written anything. But yeah, so
That's why I went into accounting.
right. Forgotten Ruin.
Speaking of which, I need to finish your book too.
Oh, thanks, man. Number 2, the audio just dropped Wednesday, Tuesday, something like that. So yeah, if you guys are ear holes and like more sci-fi, hook me up. But so we got a ton of stuff like about to hit. For people who are like, run to the website, just buy it, or wait for it to hit Amazon, just buy it. Nick right now is working on the Book of Joe, which is just awesome. It's the events that take place right after the end of book 4. Have you guys read Forgotten Ruin book 4?
No, I haven't.
No.
I'm still waiting for
Yep.
book 3 to drop on Audible.
Oh my God,
I'm
so good, but the ending.
I'm re-listening to book 1.
Yeah, they did a good
I'm way
job.
I've listened
behind.
to it like 3 times.
I can't listen to book 1 all the way through because of a certain thing that occurred when I was listening to the early edition of it. So it's at the end where I can't actually listen to it
Uh-oh.
because Waltz was around that time frame.
'Cause
It was
what?
that time frame.
Oh, I got you.
Which one?
Yeah, that time frame.
Yep.
And so I kind of I get to a certain point in the first book and I'm like, and I'm done. And now I move on to 2.
Well, you're gonna have to just read what happens instead of listening to it.
Oh, I finished it out, but I was just like, oh boy.
Right on. So while we're winding things down, Matt, I believe you have some things going on, maybe possibly in your the side of your corner of your screen right there. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure, do. So we'll just talk about Mission 22 and how we're doing all the good work for raising money and awareness for it. For my Australian time, November 12th to 19th, which will be 11th to the 18th for you dirty Americans. I am
Hashtag freedom time.
That's a freedom time. That's right. I am going to be breaking the current world record and spending 7 days and 5 minutes inside a virtual reality headset. This headset will not leave my head for the entirety of the duration. I'll be eating, sleeping, gaming, and working out, and doing other things in VR. My entire life will be through these lenses. That's it. And I'm trying to raise a shitload of money for Mission 22 because I've done it before. And if I can do 7 days and 5 minutes, I will hold the absolute world record. I've done Mission 22 charity streams before on my Twitch. People go, why do you do an American charity instead of Australia? Obviously, because Mission 22 is associated with Galaxy's Edge, who I'm associated with, and words back and forth and connections and all that sort of stuff. And so it's going to be big. I've already done a 24-hour test in the headset. It definitely works. It just takes a while to get used to. But yeah, it's going to be brutal. There's no other words for it. It's your entirety of your consciousness is essentially in the headset. There's no light outside at all. You don't see anything whatsoever except what's in the headset. You've got pass-through technology with the bloody cameras here, so you can actually see when you walk around the house, but it's all in like thermal night vision, so you still see inside the headset. That's it. Yeah. Well, they're like, why are you doing it? Why not?
Right
You know,
on.
we're all going to cark it one day. We're all going to be in the ground dead someday. I may as well make life fun before that.
So what happens if you set the world record? Do they do they parachute like a record keeper type person to present you with a trophy?
A little bit. If they verify it, I'll go on the website and everything. I'll get like a big poster or that sort of gear. I may depending on what happens with Twitch, if I can get the recommended amount of viewers, I'm pretty much close there already. I could get partnered, so we'll see how we go.
That'd be cool.
So have you already contacted Guinness and all that?
Yep.
Excellent.
All done. As a matter of
Will they
fact, I have a
give you
list
money?
here. No. The only money I want is to
Well,
go
then
to
why
Mission
do it?
22. That's it. What's that?
Nothing. I was joking. I know
Also,
what you're
why
doing
do
is good.
Give me one sec. I'll tell you the actual list here of all the companies and people and stuff that are being supported. Not the food list. We don't want to read out the food I'm eating.
Food. Go
So,
on.
Mission 22, Galaxy's Edge, Oculus, Facebook, the VR cover, Logitech, Rode, Cooler Master, MSI, AOC, Elgato, Twitch. Following that, Vet TV as well. A few bigger streamers, the Pineapple Express, an Australian veteran charity. 7 News, 9 News, 60 Minutes, and a few others as well.
That's dope.
So, what else have we got here as well? The answering the two big questions. Are you going to see me showering and on the toilet is the big one that gets asked. Yes and no. So there is a camera set up, but at
Yes,
such
shower,
an angle where
but
you
no
don't.
on the toilet.
Well, I actually won't be showering the whole time. What is happening with that is camper wipes. Your camper wipes, like for those who lived that field. Because
Ghetto shower.
on.
Got it.
Yeah, get a shower. Because you got to keep the headset on. I'm wiping out like my whole body. So.
I thought you were going to be
yeah, I was gonna
putting
say
a bag
You
over
put
your
a
head.
plastic bag over your head.
Yeah, no, that won't work. There is no dedicated toilet camera. It's just aiming my head at an angle like that.
You'll just be squatting
Camera.
straight out again.
Foot camera, though, right?
There's any
Yeah,
truth to
oh,
the rumor
maybe.
that the camera is pointed at your feet?
Maybe it's like tier 3 subscribers only, mate.
Tier 3
Yeah,
yeah.
you'll just be,
Well, you could
you'll just
also
be doing,
get
you'll
a
just be doing
Texas
squats
catheter.
every now and again. Just random.
I'll be living on microwave feeds, pretty good ones though. I am not cooking up that headset. I've tried it already, and I burned the sausages something fierce, so that's not happening.
Is that a euphemism?
Not the sausage!
Maybe.
What I'm playing: Half-Life Alyx VR chat, Lone Echo 1 and 2, Onward VR, Pavlov VR, Squad, Google Earth, Gorilla Tag, Elite Dangerous, Boneworks, Blair Witch, and God fucking forbid, Myst, the game where you pull a lever and you've spent 3 hours staring at a wall because you have no idea what the hell that fucking lever does. Yeah.
That's true.
Keep going
But,
until it explodes.
Right on. Yeah. And where is the predominant? Where is the stream basically going to feed through for most of the time?
For the entirety of the time, it will be on my Twitch. I'll put a link in the chat right now. Excuse me a second. It's there in Project. Yeah, so Twitch TV /Ingramat, which same name is in here. Up until then, majority of my streams, I play a lot of Doom Eternal and get drunk, so forgive what I say sometimes. But yeah, so if you're tuning before that, heads up. The actual donation link itself, I've already put it in the Discord, in the G Discord, and also back into the Facebook group. But just let me grab the actual link again because I am all over the place. Where's announcements? Got 1,000 channels. Here we go. No obligation to donate now at all. There's absolutely no obligation to donate. This is more for the awareness than anything, but every little bit helps. So that link right there, which I posted, is the actual link to it. I've got a $10,000 goal with an ultra $100,000 goal put in as well.
That's great, man. Hey, thanks for doing this.
One very important question though.
Yo,
Do you have people on standby on standby in case of
Double A.
emergency?
yeah, 100% do. I got my family on notice. God forbid, my workplace. Yes, I know. For those who don't know, I am 10 years active duty Air Force. So they've. That's also another reason I'm doing this Mission 22 as well, because of past stuff. Yeah, and a number of mates too. Some of my stream mods have got my number, all that sort of gear. I've got everything backed up, ready to go.
Right on.
So I am all safe, hunky dory, skadoodly woody booty booty.
I don't know what that
What he
means.
said.
Yeah,
That's how we're ending on the Galaxy's Edge podcast.
Is that a ringtone?
I got it clipped.
Booty
Swordfish, anything before we call it?
Man, Last year we just barely got over 11,000 in donation submission 22. Let's see if we can go through that and like get to maybe 15 or even 20,000. I think it'd be amazing. Please, by all means, share this around. Get people interested in the community. Let's help out some other people, and let's try and make a difference, because I mean they sacrifice a lot, so we should try to make their lives a lot easier. Um, yeah, that's all I got.
Bombs, blasters, booms, and boomsticks. With all that said and done, don't forget check out 6 Days Until World Record VR stream from Matt, and you can donate to that link below. Don't forget to check out galaxiesedge.us for all the gear you need to rep the edge. We'll catch you next time on the Galaxy's Edge podcast.